post-Thanksgiving today here at the races. Now we're into the Christmas season here at the Capitol Meet. Keith, how was your
Yes.
Thanksgiving yesterday?
It was good. It
Yeah.
was good. I was glad to see a great crowd on hand, as
Yep.
usual, per usual for our Thanksgiving cards. The weather cleared up a little bit throughout the day. Yeah, last night got home, had a great dinner. Just a small little gathering, but it was very, very good. Had the turkey, had the stuffing, had the
Yeah.
gravy, had the crescent rolls, had the shoe
What's your
peg,
what's your
had the
favorite?
pie. Oh man, the stuffing is always good.
I
I love
I
that. Yeah.
I always forget about it until it's on my plate with the gravy on top of the stuffing, and I'm like,
Yeah.
man, this is my favorite thing about it. So. Moving forward, though,
Yes.
we've got a fun, tricky card coming up
Uh-huh.
here for Saturday. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got going on the outside. Sealing the track here, keeping it muddy. We're going to be keeping it that way for a while, at least for today. So
Yeah.
just keep that in mind for your cards for the rest of the weekend. Keith, you mentioned that the track played pretty fair yesterday.
It did. You could kind of win from anywhere. We had some horses high and wide, get it done, and it was one that was hopefully your play of the day that we had. Golden Aurora for Robbie Bales at 39.40. We got to toot our own horns a little bit. Callie, you were on that horse. I
We
was
were.
on that horse. And then our kind of value play did get bet down.
It
Led a
did.
long, long way.
Helms
Did
Deep.
Helms Deep just couldn't quite hold on. I thought we had it.
on for a good second,
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
We were labeling that horse an all for nothing, and so he did make a little bit of a liar out of us, which I was pleasantly surprised about.
That's okay. We'll take that. But, yeah, we move on to today's card. 9 races. We've got a couple stakes, a couple of stakes that have been brought back. Looking forward to that. Copper Tax is back, so good to see him at Laurel Park. But an interesting card. I do have a couple price shots. I want to believe it's race maybe six or
and
seven. 6 looks like it could be anybody's ball game there. But let's get started.
Let's start things off with that early pick 5. In this claiming 20,000 for the girls 3 and up, which have never won 3, going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt. Of course, scratching the 8. You have what's right now our 9-5 favorite as of this recording in the True Sunshine for Kieran McGee. Caramanos here returns back to a muddy track, kind of a
Yeah.
little bit of a course and distance situation.
Yeah, wet tracks, 0 for 2. Not its greatest figure of 53, but she's won 4 races, and she's had some adversity her last couple races early on. 2 races back, a bump, then a steadied start in its most recent start in a muddy sealed surface. They didn't go super quick last time, but we're freshened up here. This kind of break is all right for Kieran, and I think, again, aggressive handling could be the key for True Sunshine today. I think, Kitty Penny has a little bit of speed to the inside of her. She's out of some fast internal races, True Sunshine. So I think you're going to see this one go ahead and go. Kieran's other horse, who has a great shot in here, Hot Dance, is run 2 out of the last 3. Pretty good. We've got a video spotlight. She's had some trouble 3 of her last 4 starts. But this particular afternoon on the second, out of the Love to Eat race we liked yesterday, she got caught up in that extended battle yesterday, just to fade through the last 1/8 of a mile. But Hot Dance here, now this early quarter isn't the sharpest, 23-2, but they really picked it up for the second quarter. And she's just showing a little bit more sharpness, I guess, you've seen in maybe a few of her most recent races, and I like that. I think she's going to need that today to stay close enough to True Sunshine. But she's dead game every step of the way, giving the chase here to maybe just a little bit better horse. But I think right back here at 6 furlongs, she can set up shop just off of it with Toriyama. Jockey trainer combo, very good at
Toriyama
about 30,
with 3 yesterday.
30%, and yeah, he's riding well. 5-2-6-9, Shake It Baby, yes, back with the Nest barn, first time Lasix with Nest. Another one hampered by that inside post, going 7/8 of a mile in a big field last time. Just gave herself a little too much to make up. Tried after that slower beginning, and it just fizzled through the stretch. But I think right back here, and a little bit of a confidence bump up in class for Ness. Pay attention with that one in the opener.
5-2-6-9 for the first leg of the early pick 5 for Keith Fusel. Let's talk about the first leg of the early pick 4, which is claiming at 20,000 for the girls 3 and up, which have never won 3, going a mile on the dirt this time here. No scratches that I'm aware of, at least. You and I both land on Peppermint Class. Diane Marici, Tori Alba here, shaping up to be a good weekend here for Tori Alba. Let's go ahead and take a look at that last effort on the slop, 2 back.
Yeah, that was 2 back. And we chased her, Callie,
did.
on the turf. In the most recent, we thought the breeding was there and was going to be okay. But this is the race we're going to show you. Back maybe on close to a similar track. And that sloppy sealed surface on the 27 makes a good inside run. Just has to get, weight steady. A little stall there for, not quite a 16th of a mile. But her momentum was definitely hampered in this race. She's going to go ahead and drop down, work between them down inside to make a good, gutsy run. Just couldn't quite get past Navani. 7-2 that day. I think she's going to be, 5-2, 3-1 range this afternoon. But I like the recent form of not just her on the main track, but in the barn. Marici runners, you have to pay attention. Look at these stats. Look at this stat. Last 45 days on the Laurel dirt. Diane Marici, 5 for 15, 33%, 9 for 15 in the money with an ROI of 428. Tori Alba, you got that, as you said. And they got a win yesterday, right? Gambling Czar?
Yes.
Got it done?
Yep.
So, trainer rolling right now. Hard to dismiss. We're right on at 2-5. I'm a cutie pie. I really liked the effort last time on the turf. At a big number, was into the race, made that move just to fizzle a little bit. Has back positional speed and can handle the one-turn mile at Laurel Park. I think this one will be forward early. If the 3 Maximo Madness doesn't go ahead and go, this is an interesting sort as the speed. You got this one in the mix. I think Cutie Pie, you might see her up close to the lead today along with Sadie the Great, who, second off the claim's been a good angle for Saray the last couple years, on the dirt. 303 ROI here at Laurel with this kind of move and a good win last time out on a turf to dirt move.
Got it. Okay. All right. 8-9, 2-5, 8-9 there as we go ahead to race number 3 in a maiden claiming 30,000, going 5.5 on the dirt for the 2-year-old filly. Scratch in the rail horse, Knit Witness. You go with the number 8 on the outside. Luminous Secret, love this. Phil Schoenthal, Angel Cruz. A little bit of suggestive back breeding might help this one out here today.
Yeah, you've got a jockey trainer combo. I'm sorry, that was my horse below it. My bad, but I'll take Cruz. But anyhow, it's the firsters for Phil. The 2-year-olds, especially the last 3 years, he's been good. He's like 22, 23% with an ROI, going towards $6. Now he's had some luck on the turf with some of these firsters down at Colonial. But this filly here, 6 winning siblings, 3 of them got it done first time out. I love that.
Yeah.
Tapature, a little bit of an off track. That should be just fine. I like the draw. Tapature, 14% with the 2-year-old first-time starters. This one's a fool to Remain Anonymous, who got it done first time out for Trombi up at Saratoga with a good number. So we're going to definitely use Luminous Secret today. The 9, Robbie Bales again. You've got this one on top.
Why not?
Turf to dirt. Second out angle, a little bit of a Z pattern. In close at the break, made a move early, drop back, came again. I like that. There's dirt within this family. 8-9. 4, Gem Runner looks like speed. The 6, Wall Street Magic. This move over the last 4 or 5 years for Trombi is a little bit sneaky. Turf to dirt, second out. He's like 30%. It's a good number here. Showed that good speed. There's dirt within this family as well, so I wouldn't completely dismiss that. They look like possibly the speeds, the 2 horses I have listed towards the bottom of my choices here, 4 and the 6.
Yep.
But interesting to see. See what kind of money this 8 takes first time out. Might get some steady play. I like the line at 6, and I do like your 9 as a value double arrow.
What do you think of the 7? By the way, did you think of anything of the 7? Did you
New Sensation?
Because I was between the 6 and 7.
It's an old NXS song. I know our man Justin Nixon would know that, but spelled a little bit differently. But anyhow, Gunnavera, new to the party here, right? This is staying 1 for 14 with the first-time starters. The mare did score first time out. This is a first foal. Plenty of works. A guess for me. A complete guess.
Right, absolutely. Yep. 8-9, 4-6 for Keith Fusel there in race number 3. We're going to go ahead to the Rainbow Pick 6 that starts some action there in race number 4. It does start in a stake, and we will get to that. Let's go ahead and take a peek at my ticket really quick. 1, 2, 3 here in the Willa on the move. You go with the 4 on top in the Willa on the move. Race number 5, I go with the 6 every 4 years just as a single to grab. Why I do this is the first leg of the early pick 5. I will never know, but I always seem to end up doing so. 6 and 8, 4, 6, races 6 and 7, and then race 9 kind of got me a little bit, which is interesting because you've got a late pick 4, Keith, and so I ended up going 4 wide on that.
All right.
But we both land on the number 2, Tam Char there in that last here today, and it does begin, as I mentioned, in race number 4. Starts our stakes action. Willa on the move here, going 6.5 for the girls, 3 and up. Scratching the outside horse in the 6, Winky Winky.
Yeah.
You have the number 4 on top, Bourbon Bombay, which I completely respect here. And let's take a look exactly why for Ned Allard. Carol Cedeno on that timeout.
Some interesting stories about this this mare as well. 7 years old, only 7 starts, but 5 for 7. Gives pretty good chase here, I thought, for the most part. In a return, hadn't been seen since August of 23. They went quick 23, 45, and 3. Foxy Jr. comes back to win. Overland, which I think was a fine place to be on the 12th, just to flatten a little bit late. But I thought that was just what she needed. She comes back quick, which we haven't seen in a long time. But interesting story reading on Dan Illman, and definitely make sure you check out Dan's stuff on the DRF, our stuff from Dave and Phil on our website, and the Racing Biz with Frank Vespa. You get some good stories, some good nuggets, and this one has a good story behind it. Bourbon Bombay had to have corrective shoes early on in its life, and before it's made it start at 4, late to the races, some other hiccups, a broken jaw, a lot of a lot of drama, a lot of troubles with Bourbon Bombay. So you kind of respect what goes on within this game. The athletes here are horses, and then everybody behind the scenes that has to put in so much effort. The trainer, the assistant trainer, people back at a barn or at a farm you wouldn't even know.
Right. So
there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. Interesting and good read there from Dan with the information he brought for Bourbon Bombay. So yes, I think she can track. Reunited with Torres, right? Any rider change here?
Nope.
Okay.
She's with Torres.
Yeah, so back with Torres, who knows this mare and her 2-back race. Now, granted, it was a long time ago. Olivia Darling was supposed to be in this race. She came back and won the other day in a good allowance race with a 90 fig at Gulfstream. So, yes, Bourbon Bombay to track. Your top selection is Miss Buchero, who I think is the one that stays here from Ricci. 6.5 furlongs today. This is going to be fine. This horse likes Laurel. Speed may go or may prompt. I think she's very versatile, is Miss Buchero. Simply Stating intrigues me a little bit as the second time for Brittany. Lights out, first time Brittany, got to the front, zipped out, was nursed along on the lead. Now she's shown some big numbers in the past, and she's shown the ability to sit just off of it as well. So see if she moves up again second time. Malibu Beauty, what else can you say? She just brings it every time. It's a little interesting to see. I think she's going to have to win this from just off the pace. I don't know if she's quite got the quicks of maybe the horse to her inside or Miss Buchero. We shall see. But you got to love her as a racehorse. She's been awesome.
Absolutely. 4-1-3-2 for Keith Fusel there in race number 4. Race number 5, as I mentioned, starts the late pick 5, of course, low industry takeout that we have there. Starts in a claiming 12-5 for the 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 2, going 1 mile and 16th on the dirt. And we have scratches in the 1A, the 5, and the 10. Keith, you go with the number 4 in Portis.
Yes.
We're gonna go ahead and take a look. Mario Spray Jr., Andreas Chavez, last time out. Out of here.
Yeah, at the mile, bobbled a little bit at the break, gets in a little trouble. A couple horses come out of this race. Stately Order does draw in, so pay attention to that. That's the 11 horse this afternoon. So we see that again, a little bit of a steady, or bobble, I should say, out of the gate. Now, Soray's got 2 of them in here, and I think the Heights might just have a little bit more positional speed, but I like what Portis does from off the pace. He's going to go ahead and work out an extremely wide run through the stretch. Stately Order, who we see here today, the 11 horse this afternoon, draws in, so pay attention. Ran great over this track for Scolatano. Makes the lead, 4 wide, goes clear. But look at this run to the outside. I think if this horse didn't quite, he just went to that left lead, leaving the 8th pole, might have lost a little touch of momentum. Couldn't quite get past BJ Sung, but I think right back at the 2 turns should fit. Inside draw works for me. For Portis, we talked about the 2. The other Saray horse looks like it's going to be up fairly close. This one kind of bumps up after being a voided claim. The 11 Stately Order you just saw. The 9 Bally Rolling Tide comes out of a race in which Portis was in a couple races back, that Formula Fair race, and we saw how well Honor the Cross came back to run a good second against a little bit better. So these 2, to me, they're very close. You're going to throw in the 3 Coronation Time. I had this guy on, off, on, off. Hammy again when you least expect it. I just keep expecting this horse to make a little bit more of a run, and he hasn't. Had an overland trip last time, 4 to 5 wide in a big field. Maybe the inside works.
Right, and which is exactly why I have this horse strictly kind of underneath. I don't really have a trust to see this, out and out flashy finish here today. So just kind of basing on the chance of the track as well.
You're single here, right? You've got every 4 years. Go ahead and sell me on the 6 horse here for Brittany.
Give me a second to get to my other notes. Every 4 years, Russell, Toledo, strong turf marathoner in the half sibling. So comes from a lot of turf family. However, the Dams half was a campaign grade 3 marathon on the dirt winner, and it won allowances on the turf. I'm just saying the fact that, new horse in the barn, this is just something that Brittany is very strong with. I think the fact that this one, they ended up just going to the lead on the turf, it can be sometimes a little bit going to the lead and sustaining on the dirt. So I just think that the reason I explain the breeding is because look at the horse's campaign. They tried a couple of times on the dirt, did okay, but they saw the breeding of the half siblings underneath. They're going to go ahead and try and campaign this horse on the turf. That didn't happen. So really you get back to a surface that just gets this horse in a little bit better position. And then Brittany's, she's smart in the entry box. She's going to go where she wins. So this is the type of place where this horse can compete.
Comes right back and did something you don't see too many horses do last time. Broke through the gate pre-race, was a little bit antsy, popped out of there and was just dead game. When Return Fire engaged, leaving mid-stretch, this guy just dug right in. I think he's going to probably go again. That was first time blinkers on the main track last time. He's got that speed. He's going to go. But Frosty the Giant is quick. I think in last second Louis won't let him get too far away. See if he can get back there against winners today. 4-11-2-9, 6-11-3-1.
Yeah, there we have it. Keith mentioned, 4-11-2-9. We'll be right back after this commercial break to discuss the Jackpot Super High Five. And welcome back. Of course, our Jackpot Super High Five is in race number 6 and also starts the late pick 4. Keith, you have a ticket for us. Let's lay it down how you got it going on.
Spreadarama, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Maybe hit the all button. I'm sure I've got something in there I missed. But race 7, good thing it's not a terribly costly ticket, $27.
Right.
3, 6, 10 in the 7th. We're going to go ahead and single copper tax in the Richard W. Small Stakes. Draws the rail. Race 9, 1, 2, 9. So we got a couple little prices in here. I think we got a little shot. But this race 6 is an absolute scramble to me. You know, other than Return Fire's 0 for 23. This kind of resembles a little bit of the horse yesterday that Rudy had that ended up dead heating. I mean, the numbers just kind of stand out. You know, I hate when I spread like this in some of these races. You get the favorite, but we're going to go elsewhere. So let's go ahead and take a look at the selections in race number 6.
Yeah.
I've got Fire and Knives on top. I've got Lucked into the mix. So we talk about, you know, our selections. These are like, not loves, but these are users. These are $2 win and place bets because they're both going to be a good number. We're going to try to beat the favorite. Fire and Knives first. We'll talk about that one. Turf to dirt. This is first time blinkers on the dirt. Some very questionable speed in this race. I think you're going to have a couple horses go ahead and go. Fire and Knives has the stamina. There are a couple route winning siblings. Anyhow, that have got it done.
It always sounds like
Lucked
you're ordering
in.
your coffee
That's
at
all right.
Starbucks
It sounds
sometimes
like
when you talk about these horses.
That's all right. It's as long as we give out winners, it doesn't matter. Hit the board at a number. Lucked in. Beating a pole, both starts. That's the key. That's what I like it. 33 to 1, 14 to 1, second timeout. Look at Willard's comment here. Wide bid beating 27 lengths. Somebody saw something, and his name is Willard, and the horse closed up a little bit, and you're looking at the bottom side. Tonka. This horse is akin to Cordmaker, so we know the route is there. I don't have a whole lot to give in race 6. I just think it's a really, really tough race. You like Gold Aspen. I'm a little bit concerned about the drop again. It was a negative claim I thought off, a negative drop off the claim from September 21st to late October. That was the thing. I expected a little bit more. Does go first time gelding on the dirt.
And just to let you guys know, that was a maiden claiming 12-5 effort going a mile on the dirt for the 3, 4, and 5-year-olds there in race number 6. 7-9-6-2 for Keith Fustel. Let's go ahead to race number 7, and that will that is a claiming 12-5 going at 6 furlongs on the dirt for the 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 3 scratch. In the 2 Ruffner, you go with the number 3 Point Pele, TJ Aguirre, Gina Vella. Let's go ahead and take a look in the race that TJ did claim this one.
Another big field. Racing Office has done a good job. We've got some big fields. Sunday's card is loaded. But you're looking at a horse like Point Pele. This is a little sketchy to me, but I'm going to reach one time. In this race at Delaware, bumped at the break, 4 wide, makes a decent move, but under a really serious ride. But you look who this guy was facing. Baracho, a 16-time winner for Ness. This is a 3 in life or for straight 3-year-olds. Point Pele has 1, 3. We're going to go first time gelding. Yes, there's some speed to the outside. Ruffner comes out, which was going to be part of that flow. Dream River, maybe Box and Ben. I think Art of Courage has some speed, but Point Pele with that little bit of a middle move and along like 4th time Lasix might get good position here without Velo and be able to stalk and pounce.
Absolutely.
Yep.
No, I love that take. Let's talk about Nancy Made My Day. Susan Cooney winning in that effort on the dirt just a couple of weeks ago. Gene Brasino, potential price there. Not really a potential price. I think the newfound life that we've found in this one could just keep the momentum going really well.
I think what he found was right. You're talking about newfound life. He got that drop. He got the relief that he needed. He had run it against horses on the go back. Play harder, point to, one-way traffic, some fast horses, and he kind of got the field that he needed. I like how he got a patient ride. He let the other speed go on, and he made another move. Race sets up well for Nancy Made My Day.
Absolutely. The number 10 on the outside, Borletti, Ricky Silliman, Angel Cruz. I've always liked to see the fact. I always want to see the fact. I'm surprised the trainer and jockey stats aren't higher than what they are as of lately, because I just always seem to, for some reason, expect results out of them. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I always think it's a good combination between these two. So this one also potentially just looking for the right shot of life this time.
Claim for 25, a little bit of a jump up, nothing whatsoever. 70 to 1, a little bit more realistic spot, but you still got to question it. Like, all right, is he not even close to what he once was? I'm going to give him one more shot. I like the fact that Cruz stays, and Ricky has done well the last 3 years on the dirt, second off the claim. 34% strike rate, 10 for 29, ROI 270. He's won 2 of those 3 on the drop like this one's going to do today. And this one's shown the ability to make a run from off the pace.
3, 6, 10, 8 for Keith Fustel there in race number 7. The Dickie Small Stakes going a mile and an eighth on the dirt here for the 3-year-olds and up. No scratches here. You and I both land on Copper Tax. And let's go ahead and take a look at the Federico Tessio earlier this year back in April.
Going to jump in against Older for the first time. But, man, you got to love this guy. Likes Laurel Park. This was an incredible run, I thought. April the 20th, Federico Tessio stumbled badly at the break. He already gave up like 6 lengths to the horse that broke sharp from the inside. That would have been speediness, and we've seen what this guy's been able to do and what he did on the return.
Yeah.
But look at this, just complete, guts, determination. Copper Tax gets put into a ride very early, 4 to 5 wide, and just keeps grinding to wear down a pretty good horse in his own right. Now he steps up against Older. He's had 2 races since and really has run well. Buyers of 90, 95 most recently. In that race in New York in his last start, he got a little trouble there. He was kind of paused, had to wait a little bit from the 5/16 to the quarter pole. But I thought all in all, once he shifted out, he closed in very well against a good group. Tuscan Sky, that second-place finisher, I think ran like a 99 winning the Pegasus back at Monmouth. So the company is there, yes, stepping up against older, but I think just the break, his affinity for Laurel, mile and eighth, no problem.
Right.
He'll lay close enough because there's not a lot of true speed. That's why I'm going to throw the 6-horse in there, Mosler Time for Kyle Lynch. I think this 4-year-old's gotten a little bit better as well, proven without the Lasix last time. Maybe a little bit towards the inside on the 12th. Maryland Million Day, maybe not the best spot. But I think he's got like a pop move. He'll sit just off of Ain't the Beer Cold or maybe go and get the jump on Copper Tax. But I think Copper Tax will be up to the task to make that steady run to get it done.
Talk about Catalina Strike. Rudy Sanchez, Solomon Ginovello wasn't entered last weekend, but then enters here, coming back to the races.
What can you say? Look at the last couple. The blinkers came off. Now, he's going to come off Lasix, but the blinkers came off. He's run 2 races that have been strong through the final 5/16 of a mile with trouble. Both times he kind of had to sit and wait around the same spot nearing the stretch. Another good note Dan had put in there, he's also improved since gelded, had a throat operation, some other just tweaks, and it's gotten this guy on his game. Given a clear run, he can ramp up and sustain a pretty long run. He could probably start it at 3/8 pole and keep on going. Let's see if he can kind of take one more step and get the better of a horse like Copper Tax. This is a good field.
Yes.
Elephant's Ear, User, Magic Michael is another one. I think back at Laurel works. Armando R.
Right.
Didn't run that great last time, but stretching back out to a mile and an eighth. 2 for 4, 4 for 4 in the money at the distance. He fits with this group as well. So interesting race. Not the biggest of fields, but it's a quality field here in the Richard W. Small.
Small but mighty packs a punch here in the Dickie Small Stakes. As we go on to our finale here on Friday in a claiming 7,500, going 6 furlongs on the dirt. For the girls 3 and up in a conditioned never won 4 race. You and I both go with the number 2 Tam Char on the inside for Mikey Gorham, Raul Mena. Just looking for a little bit of a change up here, but coming down to the 7,500, I think, is obviously the biggest help.
I think that's a big. You're right. Dropping a little bit. She gets the conditions. She's won 6 races, more than anybody, right, in this field. And she did not have the easiest of trips in that second start off the break. Had the inner post, 11-horse field, anonymously, utterly enchanting, better horses, steadied near the half, just lost that momentum. There's some horses that want to go ahead and go in here, but she's got natural enough speed that I think she's going to be okay her third start off the break to maybe not quite get the front, maybe let some of that outside speed go, but I think she can stalk and move into it.
We both have the number 1 Marley's Ghost underneath, had a little bit of a trouble last time out. Let's go ahead and take a look at that specific trouble. Eric Fuentes in this video that we have stays on here for today.
She was keyed up once she kind of got up behind these leaders. It was not an easy chore for Fuentes. He had to steady along a couple times. We're going to go ahead and follow it into the backstretch, through the backstretch run. And I know we're a little short on time, guys, but we can go ahead and cut it right there. That continued pretty much into the far turn and then got a little bit of a bumping match at the 3/8 with another rival before altering out and making a run. Got the lead, couldn't quite hold. Doesn't have a lot of experience sprinting, but hoping the speed goes ahead and goes. If he can kind of let that speed run away, which I think it will from her, he'll be able to relax her and make a run.
Absolutely. But I can definitely see that. 2-1-9-6 for Keith Fustel there in the finale. Let's go ahead to the lightning round and dive into those picks a little bit more. Keith, you start your 2 value plays in race number 6 on the number 7 Fire and Knives for Ed Merriman. Forest Boys here in the number 7 at 8-1.
Yeah, if the favorite doesn't go, this is a race. Bet 2 or 3 horses to win. I've got a couple prices, the 7 and the 9, but we'll concentrate here on Fire and Knives. Has the breeding to get the route, the dirt route. It's there. We've seen within the family. This is the first time blinkers as well on the main track. Forest Boys to judge this run from off the pace.
You also go with in race number 7 on an 8-1 shot here in the number 3 Point Belay. First time in the barn for TJ Aguirre with Ginovello on top.
Talking about relief, back against 3 and Lights, faced a 16-time winner, Baracho. First time gelding, a little wide middle move under some pressure against Better. Should be sitting in the catbird seat there at the quarter pole.
Let's also talk about somebody who is in the front running of things. Of course, Brittany Russell leaning by, I'm not going to count by how many, but she's got 41-19 of Mike Trombetta here for the wind down of the Capital Meet.
That's a lot.
It's so
Somebody's
many.
going to need a miracle. That's all
Yeah.
I can tell you.
I don't even know if there's enough time for a miracle. But anyway, let's go ahead to the jockeys. A bit more tight pack there, which is what we always love. Rodriguez, Toledo, this is pretty typical of them kind of going back and forth within each other. Just a wonderful colony of jocks that we have here in the Mid-Atlantic.
Oh yeah, and scratching and clawing and trying to get those quality mounts. It's got to be a tough job for the agents and the jocks. So we have a slew of good choices when it comes like, okay, who am I going to get the rider? Well, I can't get J Rod. I can go here. I mean, you can go down the line and you're probably going to land on somebody that's got some talent.
Absolutely. Let's go to another talent, shall we? Let's go to Dave Rodman for some more changes and scratches here for this Friday.
All right. Good luck, everybody.